Coming into this tour, everyone wanted to see the battle between Lance and Alberto Contador. With the legend out of the running, the campaign for yellow opens up. Twice, Cadel Evans was a bridesmaid in the Tour de France. For stage 9, he's the overall leader. But his advantage on climbers Schlecks and Contador is a narrow one. Just one shaky moment, and catastrophe could fall on Cadel. On the final climb of the day, it comes.
A very, very sad sight here. Cadel Evans has cracked.
With Evans out of the mix, Contador and Schlecks get down to the hard business of champions.
There's a move by Schlecks.
He's finding out just how strong is Alberto Contador.
Well, that's a great move, but he's going to have to throw a little bit more at Alberto Contador if he wants to get rid of him. Contador now is on the defensive this afternoon. This is man against man.
No other riders can match their strength on this ascent. They pay little attention to the rest of the field, every resource dedicated to the demolition of each other.
And there's an attack again, and straight after him comes Contador. How many times can you do this? Listen to this crowd as they continue to climb. They're watching two of the best bike riders in the world right now, Alberto Contador and Andy Schlecks.
And these two men are the strongest men in the bike race, and we're going to see a lot more racing, Phil, before this race gets up to Paris.
Their battle ends in a stalemate. Picking up the remnants of a breakaway, both men race into the finish town of Saint-Jean-de-Maurienne. Schlecks misses out on the winning sprint, but he takes the yellow jersey from Cadel Evans, who's lost over 8 minutes. After 9 stages, the race has come down to a two-man duel, Schlecks versus Contador. While Evans is crushed by losing the yellow jersey, Andy Schlecks has realized his dream of wearing yellow for the first time.
I saw jerseys the other day and I was like, I want that, you know. So right now I have it, but I know, you know, it's not going to be a piece of cake.
On the final climb, you did a lot of accelerations. What was the purpose of those accelerations?
To drop Contador, but...
Sort of testing him?
It was not a test, it was like going all in, you know. It was no... I showed all my cards I had, and if I would have attacked one more time, I would have dropped myself, so was quite happy.
Schlecks has been equal in every way to Contador in the Alps. Now their contest continues in the Pyrenees. 100 years ago, the Tour de France first sent riders up the rugged shoulders of the Pyrenees. On single-geared bikes, the undertaking was so insufferable, it prompted one rider to cry out to the race director, "You're assassins, all of you." A century later, on a vastly improved machine, Andy Schlecks has every intention of killing Alberto Contador's hope for a third Tour title. Wearing the leader's jersey, the Luxembourger has a 31-second advantage over his rival, but it's not enough. Schlecks needs a bigger cushion to soften what he'll drop in the time trial to Contador. Stage 15 is a 116-mile opportunity with a monster of a climb on the back end. Schlecks can put the champion on the ropes.
Well, one man is taking responsibility of the race now, and that's the man in the yellow jersey, Andy Schlecks. He's not asking for anything. He's not even scared about the fact that he's got Alberto Contador in second position. Looks over his shoulder just to check.
This is amazing, Paul. We are seeing Schlecks dictate the pace to the greatest climber in the world. Now, what is Alberto Contador feeling like here, being dictated to by the maillot jaune? And one thing's for sure now, Paul, Andy Schlecks shows no respect to Contador.
None at all. He wants to honour the yellow jersey. He's used his teammates, he's eliminated the rest of the field, and now he wants to try and dictate the pace.
We see the move from Andy Schlecks, and it's not Contador yet who's reacted. Now he has. It was Vinokourov.
Well, Vinokourov.
Oh, what's happened? His chain's off. Schlecks' chain's off.
Yeah.
Well, what's his chain has jammed and Contador's gone. Well, this is terrible.
Well, this is the big panic now. He's got to get himself back into this race, and this is so unfortunate. This is why you have a big problem when you don't have any teammates alongside you.
At this moment in time, he could be losing his yellow jersey.
And these guys have now seen the possibility of winning the Tour de France. This is when fair play, Phil, has been thrown out of the window. But can this man ride himself back into the yellow jersey? Because this guy has got the form today. He was actually just putting Alberto Contador onto the ropes in a boxing match this afternoon when he had that badly timed mechanical incident.
Alberto Contador, joined by Sanchez, Menchov is still here, but gone is the yellow jersey. Now, this is going to be the chase of his life.
He is going to be very angry right now because he will know they're taking advantage of a mechanical mishap. Contador's move there, I think, was a move of panic.
Now we're seeing just how much strength this man, Andy Schleck, really has.
This is the performance of a champion. He didn't panic at all. He stopped at the side of the road. He put his chain back together.
Contador is almost looking back here to see where he is coming. I don't know whether he's waiting or not, but he's very conscious of the location of Andy Schleck as he tries to sprint clear.
I tell you what, you get behind this man in the yellow jersey this afternoon if you want to, because he is not asked for help from anybody else in the Tour de France. This is courage at its absolute best.
And the gap is there at the moment. His overall lead in the Tour de France in one cruel blow has been currently halved.
Make the gap, Phil, around about 20 seconds between Alberto Contador and the yellow jersey of Andy Schleck. And Schleck is still going. He's still riding on his own, not asking for anybody to come forward and look after him. And he's dispatching riders one by one.
Over the top now, and look at the face of this now. He's going to rip down this mountain.
This man can take one or two risks in the corners. He should be able to pull himself back into the Tour.
Well, settle down for the dizziest descent we've probably ever seen in the Tour de France. And what a time to make a descent. You've got to bridge 13 seconds to the two-time winner of the Tour de France. Contador making the most of the problem that befell Andy Schleck. That's not Contador's fault, and you can't expect him to wait for anybody when you're only 20 kilometres from home. This is a chance for him now to take charge of the Tour de France.
I'm not really sure that this is a real fair play move by Alberto Contador. I think it's a man who is desperate to win the Tour de France, and he's taking any possible advantage of a mechanical incident to try and get off the front and win. 30 seconds is the gap now between Contador and Schleck, and at the start of the day, Phil, it was 31 seconds that separated them. Just one more second and Alberto Contador will be pulling on the yellow jersey at the end of this afternoon.
There's a kick by Contador as they come over the line. The time starts now.
Depending on how this man can finish it off here, it's going to be very close.
Grit your teeth, because now he's fighting to keep yellow, and I don't think he can do it. The time has passed. Now the yellow jersey goes to Alberto Contador, and Andy Schleck will have to rethink his tactics now.
Andy Schleck has overcome a brutal crash in Stage 2 and the loss of his brother and teammate in Stage 3. Making it over today's events will take a mountain of a man. After Stage 15, Contador takes the overall lead as Schleck falls to second. Schleck desperately needs a big day in the mountains to launch a comeback. Traditions and rules are not the same. One is open to interpretation and acceptance, the other is not. When he took advantage of Schleck's misfortune, Alberto Contador did nothing outside of the rules. How he embraced the Tour's traditions is a matter of opinion.
If it's fair or not, that's not up to me to decide, but I would not have raced like that.
Was it a moment of panic at that time or anger?
No, I can tell you, my stomach is full of anger, and I want to take my revenge, you know.
For 100 years, the Pyrenees have provided high drama in the Tour de France. The intensity kicks up another gear when Schleck goes for his revenge on the Col du Tourmalet. Stage 16's downhill finish would dictate that Andy Schleck's revenge would have to wait for a couple more days and the mountaintop finish of the Tourmalet. While he and Contador sat back in the peloton, Lance Armstrong would take this opportunity to try for one last bit of glory on the mountain roads of France.
This is Armstrong's last ride to the Pyrenees, his last ride in the Tour de France, and he always said he would look to try and go out with something to show for it. Well, if anybody thought Lance Armstrong's 38-year-old legs are gone, he's just found them again now, because the crowd are recognizing him as he climbs the mountain for the last time in his career.
After running up front for the entire day, Lance would miss out on a sprint to the finish. A valiant attempt by the Tour's greatest champion, as Lance and his fans must come to terms that these are the final days of his amazing Tour career.
You showed Lance Armstrong's not over with.
Lance Armstrong is over in about 4 or 5 days.
While Lance's days of controlling the peloton are over, there's still an epic battle being waged in what has been one of the most eventful races in the Tour's history.